Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Family Success Secrets podcast. Today, we have with us again a wonderful guest, Aleshia Kellerman, who, if hopefully you've heard her original interview, but today we get to deep dive further into the amazing tips and tricks that she has learned over 13 years of working with moms and families in nutritional health coaching. She is on the ground. She's done this for herself. She's done this with her family, and she has done this for so many other people. So I'm really excited for you to get to hear from her more today. Aleshia, welcome back. We're so glad to have you.
Oh, yes, so glad to be back. It's fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So last time you told everybody a little bit about your background, and I'm hoping today that you can tell everybody even more about how you found yourself on the journey to learn about nutrition and how you fell in love with it.
Yes. Oh, wow. So as I mentioned before in the video we did, is I studied nutrition. Before I studied nutrition, I just loved making food. So my sister and I was actually known as in Afrikaans, in our language here in South Africa, my native language, we'd say we call it soustannies. It means directly translated sauce aunties. So it's a weird name. But anyway, so we loved making sauces and macaroni and cheeses and lasagnas, and we loved cooking because in the kitchen it's just something we did. We're a family of four, so I have three siblings. So it's my sisters was the eldest one, and then me, and then two brothers. And when they bring our friends, that is what we did. We cook and we just went all out. So it wasn't healthy, obviously, but whole food based, but not healthy. So we made lasagnas, we made sauces, tomato sauce with a lot of ketchup and a lot of sugar and a lot of stuff in there. And we just loved it. So when I started studying, and I just loved I've always loved how the body works. There was a cartoon that was on TV when we were kids. I don't know if you guys had stuff like that, but you have blood that's small little men, and how they transport the molecules, and it's a whole episode inside the body of the human being. So I absolutely love that. And by the way, you can just see the impact of watching TV and watching programs on creating an interest of what you want to do for your life, Mm-hmm. So that's so important for nutrition as well, because if you have that when your kids are small, they really grow a love for food. So that's just a tip on the side. So anyway, we started with this thing, and I was really so fascinated with how God made our bodies and how a body is made to heal and made to really, it's designed to heal and to can become better if you start putting the right stuff in, investing in the right stuff. So I just combined, well, I went to study nutrition, but after studying nutrition, I felt, obviously, as I'm loving making food, I just wanted to combine these two, making food, making it healthy and delicious and still fun and still have that blessing of food. Thanksgiving is not a diet. Christmas is not a diet. You can't think diet if you think food. Otherwise, you're literally taking out the joy and the blessing of food. And it's almost like God really opened up that part for me. It's absolutely amazing, the journey, because obviously I had to heal up myself. Just a little bit of background. I had IBS for very long. I suffered with depression. There's a few personal things, traumas that happened to me as a student as well, at university and everywhere. So I had traumas, I had depression, I had a lot of things happening, and I didn't want the medication. I didn't want the invasiveness of the medication. So I started helping myself because I couldn't find the direct answer necessarily. And I already had small solutions, but I had solutions and what have you. After getting married and having kids, oh my word, that's another ball game. And getting your body back and getting your hormones stable, I picked up 30 kilograms. That is about 60 pounds, I think 65, 62 pounds. Picked up every time I get pregnant. And yes, the weight makes you uncomfortable. I don't lose that. I breastfed all right through with all three of my boys, and I didn't naturally lose that weight. So I always share the story with on my Facebook and everywhere, so you can see it there as well, how it literally changed. And then obviously the mood, because mood and nutrition is so much connected, and your gut and your mood, I can't even start. I will keep you busy for hours. So all that is so connected. and how I started to help myself again. I had to get my body back. I had to get my mood back. I had to get my health back. So my whole focus turned from almost like general nutrition to specializing with families, with gut health, and with anxiety and stress and autoimmune diseases, because all of that is so connected, you know? So that's an incredible journey, a long one, but it's a wonderful one of victory.
It's absolutely awesome. I actually really identify with your journey of getting pregnant and not being able to lose the weight. Even though you know, breastfed, I did the same thing. And it really was when I saw how bad I felt. And then my children started having a lot of issues. They had a lot of needs that pushed me into my own nutrition journey, which I geek out over nutrition. And I wish I'd, you know, known what you knew to go to school for it years back. Because
I
oh my gosh, it's one of the things I love watching your page and your like all the lives that you do on Facebook, because I learn so much and we're so similar in our beliefs and how we implement things. And it really is amazing, like you mentioned in our last podcast episode, which I hope everyone has heard, and if not, go back, but how you can do simple things that just replace the bad foods with equally or more delicious nutritious foods, have foods that you're still familiar with, just made with different ingredients, and your body will respond in such a beautiful way. And
absolutely.
Yeah, that was such a good tip that you gave to everybody, and is something that we also implemented in our home. And that I wanted to tell you, it's so funny you had mentioned that in our last episode, because at one point our family, we needed to move into what was more of a paleo type diet because of a bunch of health concerns family-wide. And at the time we didn't realize the extent of our food allergies, but that took care of most of them. And we made a pact as a family, the children and Steve and I, that we would not go without, but that we knew that most foods had been made at some point with healthy ingredients somehow prior to being in a package or a box, and that we could then go back and find the way to do that. And we did. And so it really has made the journey a blessing. And
absolutely, that's amazing.
It's so exciting that you are there to guide moms through that, because I think had I found you years ago, I would have saved myself a ton of agony.
Yes. And the other thing is, some moms, you also think you do things right. You think you made the better choice. Mm-hmm. But at the end, it's actually it's a toxic food that you're actually choosing over, you know, you don't have the insight necessarily. And yes, we can Google, thank God for Google. But the thing is, one friend told me, you can Google things and Google will tell you exactly what you want to hear, but it's not exactly necessarily the truth. So the one thing I love doing is to equip the moms to know what to search for and what is the basic changes you need to make. Because we think we know this is because the media says this and this company says no, this way, you know. Why? Because they are promoting their product, which is not a bad idea, but that's what we all do, right? You market your product, but you never, because I always say this, who makes money when we sell vegetables? No company. No, the farmer does. But I mean, no one makes money when we promote whole foods. They make money when they promote processed stuff. So we never hear on the TV, we never hear stuff about whole foods because, you know, who wants to advertise that, right? Mm-hmm. It's just going to heal our body. It's just going to help us, you know, function better, whatever. But that's not the point. So the point is here to replace specific things and to be simple, as you said, they're simple. With what changes you make, that's really significant. I call it now if the word just escaped my mind, I call it the high, well, something like basically the high, what do I call it? The big game changers. That's what I call it. The big game changers. You know, you have that small few big game changers, and you would never think it's these 1, 2, 3, or 4. You know, that's amazing. So.
Yes. So
I love seeing that.
You're absolutely correct about the impact of healthy food and how no one advertises it. And I was reading an article just yesterday that was talking about how some insurance companies in America are finally catching on. Very few, but they're establishing what they call a food pharmacy for people who have diabetes and a few other health issues. And they are finding that when they give these people about $1,000 worth of groceries over a certain amount of time that are healthy, and they go to this food pharmacy to get these whole foods, that the insurance company is saving like $80,000 a year per patient. And the statistics on these patients are amazing at how much recovery they make in a short amount of time, just eating, like you said. So, I mean, what you teach these moms is better than going to the doctor in many ways. You know, I mean, go when you need it, absolutely, but you can prevent yourself from having to go if you just eat real foods and the right ones for your body. So it's really amazing what you do for these families.
Yes, it's amazing. And the thing is, now you hear this and you know, okay, great, I have to eat whole foods, but how do I make it? How do I do it? So we do obviously also a mini cooking course that goes with it. And I'm working with my chef as well. So but I taught my chef, that's also in Canada, I taught him a few tricks on how to flavor foods, because my degree was in nutritional food science. And it's very interesting how your tongue works and how companies, because when I was in university, the company would come to us and say, we want a new product with these specifications. It must be under this amount of money, you know, produce it. So we had these tasks. It was a lot of fun that we have to produce stuff. And one of the ways of testing, obviously we have to test the products. So we had a long line, and we all had to taste, and we had to literally taste food with a lot of preservatives. It was disgusting. After that, I couldn't taste for another 2 weeks. It was absolutely horrifying. I think I had more preservatives than anyone in their life. So I was so mad after that, but we had to taste it. And honestly, after having that, I cannot eat food with preservatives. I can still taste it. So we had to taste that. And then we obviously see, no, that's not going to work. So we were part of the journey of the product being developed. So the thing is, you have the convenience of things being processed, but how do they study literally how the tongue works and how you pick up flavors. So now I teach you how to flavor your food with natural stuff, that it literally pops the flavor in the cooking. And also it teaches you simple things. You don't have to be a chef to put up a family meal in your house. So people are intimidated with the whole foods because you feel, I'm already busy, I'm already working my butts off, I'm already looking after my kids, everyone is not eating the same things, and now you want to teach me as well to leave my food, you know, everything that's kind of I'm holding on to just to survive for dinner, family dinners, and I have to cook, really? You know, and that is where the trick comes in, and the amazingness comes in, because there you can step in and you can literally with videos, we do it with videos, and you can see how easy we use a blender to make sauces, 2 ingredients. Just imagine this. You have a pasta sauce, a creamy pasta sauce that you can have over your pasta, over your rice, over whatever starch you choose, that is super healthy, that helps you stabilize your insulin, which is AKA your sugar, basically. It stabilizes your mood. It takes away cravings for that meal and 4 meals to come, okay? Just with a pasta sauce. And it's 2 ingredients. You just blend it. No fancy tricks from a chef, okay? So you can have that, or you can have your normal pasta sauce that you buy from the shop, and it completely creates havoc in your body. Your body doesn't know because it's processed. It's full of stuff that your brain doesn't like. It literally blocks the pathway of some communication that we see with ADD, ADHD kids, your mood again. So usually those kids that suffers from concentration, they have to have supplements because that pathway is blocked for 52 days. 52 days, that pathway is blocked. And if you don't start to eat right, and as I call it, eat clever, then that pathway doesn't open. Now you're having fried chips as well, not homemade, fried chips that you buy, and you block that process again. And then the mood is a problem again. And literally your child's personality forms around their mood swings. So it's absolutely crazy. And now you have to take vitamins, but the vitamins are not absorbed well because your stomach, your gut is destroyed. Your gut microbiome is destroyed. The absorption is not there. And again, you're in the cycle. And you have picky eaters, and they just fall more picky and more picky. And at the end of the day, if you have 3 kids like me, you have picky eaters that literally you have to cook or make 5 different meals. And what are you going to do? You're going to buy the stuff in the shop that's already made, because you're going to spend 20-30 minutes just to mix the pre-mixed food. So I'm showing you a very bad cycle. But if we reverse this and reverse the taste buds, and I show you how to incorporate 1 or 2 peas or chickpeas that they don't even know that's in their meal, your tongue actually picks it up. That's one of my tricks. Your tongue picks it up, but you don't taste it. Your tongue picks it up. And then in 2 weeks, you put 5 chickpeas in that meal and you blend it, you make it 5. And then a week, you have been saying you're going on and on and on. And at the end of the day, they love your pasta dishes, they love your meals, and it's super healthy. And you never ever fought with your kids. You never have to force them to eat anything. They're just loving the meals. Okay, so that's
awesome. That's such a good trick for families.
Yes.
Working in the good stuff and then able to start working out the bad stuff. Nobody.
There you go.
Knows. Wow.
There you go. Exactly. Summed it up.
That makes for a good system of replacing those processed things with whole foods, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it makes for a good system also for beginning to heal the body, and it makes for a good system for converting a picky eater into somebody who has now a preference for healthy things.
Absolutely. So we have basically 3 tricks here. We have theme nights that I started with. It's an awesome system that we apply also with our house, and I help my clients with. So we usually try to have 2 weeks of theme nights, but start with 1 week. Okay. Now, again, a theme nights or planning out your weekly meals doesn't mean it's healthy, right? I mean, you can plan out your meals and it's all unhealthy. So that's not really a solution. But if you start planning out, you already are a little bit more proactive. Okay. So now let's say we have Monday, we have pasta night. Tuesday is a crock pot night. Wednesday is Mexican wraps nights or Mexican meals, because we all like Mexican, right? And then we have, what is Friday? We can have burger and chips, but again, a healthy burger and chips, okay? And then we have, what else is there? We have so much. Now I'm trying to remember mine, but I can't. We braai here a lot. We don't have a barbecue, we braai. So we grill our meats and stuff. So anyway, you guys will do something else. So we have a fish Saturday, and we have, what on Friday? We have tacos on Wednesday. So a Sunday would be something else. But the point here is you have your favorite meals, and start with your favorite meals, because you want your family to enjoy it, right?
Right.
I always say you want to play. This is another system. I'm going to hook it with this one. Is you play mom and you play grandma at the same time. I'm going to explain to you what I mean. You play mom by saying, hey, we have to remember the rule. We have to finish our food. We have to eat our food, okay? Because if food is a blessing, this is what God's providing for us. We're not going to make other meals. Okay, so there's the mom putting down the rule, grandma, but I would really love you to enjoy your meal. Let mommy help you. Now, let's make this. I don't like it that you don't like the meal. I'm so sorry you don't enjoy it. But remember, we have to finish it. We have to eat this for tonight. I'm not going to make something else. But you're going to help me tomorrow to make it better. Will you help me? Let's choose something that you really enjoy. Okay, so that's the grandma. So a grandma's always with the grandchild, right? They're fighting the mom and saying, no, I just want to give them one sweetie, please, man. Okay, so that's the grandma. But then the mommy side is you firm. That's a system. You're very firm, but we are showing them that we are with them. We are not against them. We are with them. All right, so that's the one thing you have theme nights. The second thing is, that we talked about, is you replace the unhealthy option with the healthier option. That's the fun challenge. So the healthy option must be either equal in taste or more delicious than the unhealthy one, because then you're not going to have fighters, right? So we talked about pizza, so you can change your pizza base. The cauliflower bases are fantastic. Then you can have, obviously, your toppings. You can have fresher toppings on there. All right. And one tip I want to give there is stay away from your processed meats. Have whole meats. What I mean with that is a processed meat is anything that has been put together that you do not find in nature. if you have a chicken fillet, a chicken breast, I mean, that's how it is in nature, right? That's how it is in the chicken if you're having meat. But if you're having bologna, or you're having what else? What do you guys have that's completely
Pepperoni
processed?
is the favorite.
There we
for
go.
Right.
Yes, that's a lot of processed stuff in there. So there's a way to add that smoky taste to your meals for sure. There's a way to add that, and we do with liquid smoke. You can do that. That's if you're a meat eater, right? There's obviously options. It depends on what you guys are eating. But the point is to stay away from the processed stuff. If you're having cheese, have non-processed cheese. Have the whole real cheese. Okay, so if you're doing cheese. So the point here is, number 2 was to replace it with a healthier option. That's exactly, so you do pizza night, we're doing a healthy pizza night, right? And we had the third one is playing mama and playing grandma. Okay, you have to have some rules, and you don't go off that rules because your kids will know it. If they get it right once, they will always get it right. So keep to your rule, we have it, but you're playing grandma by saying, I want you to have to enjoy it. So can I explain to you one story that I had with my eldest boy?
Yes, please.
So my eldest one is very allergic to eggs still. He was a picky eater. We were on mission trips in Malawi for 7 months, and we stayed in tents, and he had malaria twice. So it was very challenging. Okay, living in tents for all the time, it's extremely hot, and so it wasn't comfortable. So, and because we didn't know it, but he was car sick, very, very car sick, and we had to drive through mountains, and you drive a lot when you're on missions, right? So he would, sorry for the graphics, but he would puke the whole car full like a few times, and I can't seem to feed him enough. And it was absolutely crazy. And when you stop in the rurals, you don't have facilities to make food yet. And the locals see white people for the first time. So the kids are all over you and touching you and all over the kids. And so it's kind of chaos. So I used to have Purities. That's a brand here. It's just baby food in a bottle. Mm-hmm. So I didn't do porridge, but we did those fruit, that you blend. That's literally a very smooth texture. So we had those as a staple food up until 1 year old. Now you have to introduce solids before 9 months. They have to have the textures. They have to feel. They're going to do this. They're going to absolutely reject it, but they have to touch it for them to become familiar with textures. And that's when your child becomes texture sensitive. So we came back to South Africa, and life went on again, normal house, geyser, water, everything else. And I just realized this child is so texture sensitive. No food can touch nothing. Nothing may touch on anything. Nothing, no meal that's got different food inside. It must be like loose tomatoes or loose stuff. So I thought kind of it's okay because he's at least eating fruits and he's eating vegetables, but he had no combined meals. So it was a difficult route and journey, and he's allergic to eggs. So that was crazy, there's so many food with eggs in it. So we had to take a step back. And after the second boy came, I told Paul, my husband, that we can't be cooking. I can't be cooking for three different meals every night. And then the new baby comes. We have to kind of put our foot down and just say, listen, we have to set some rules here. Mm-hmm. So remember, with the rules comes, we want them to enjoy it, right? There must be a rule for that security. That's how it is. But we want them on board. So we had a chat, and I told him I start this journey, and God was so amazing to give me that wisdom. But I told him as well, okay, Valen, it's my eldest boy's name. I said, Valen, we are going to try something new, because God gave our tongues to enjoy food, right? So I want you, let's help your tongue to start to enjoy God's food a little bit more. Okay, and just to go back a little bit, his concentration went off, his mood swings was bad, and I just decided this is going too far, and I had to change this. So he liked the processed foods more and more and more and more, and he liked the whole foods less and less and less and less. That's when I decided we have to change something. And we started this journey, and I said, okay, your tongue is very clever because God made it, and God made our food, and God didn't make it for us not to have fun with our food. Okay, he didn't give us taste buds for no reason. So I said, we have to taste a vegetable or a meal 5 times. Then your tongue will be clever enough that you will enjoy it. And I prayed very hard that after that 5 times he would enjoy the meal. So that was a bit crazy stuff, but it really worked. So he tasted it once and he gagged. And I said, okay, sorry, I'm so sorry, my boy, but I'm so glad you actually tasted it. The next time we had it that he had to chew it. He can't just blurt it out, you know. He had to chew it and he had to swallow just one bite. And then I'm going to say, well done, my boy. This is brilliant. I'm so proud of you. You did it. Point number 2. And then we prayed, God, please, after number 5. And after number 5, time and again for me and my clients, that's what's happening. So that's a fantastic extra bonus system there. So have it 5 times. Okay, but just that fruit, and be with them and have them on board and celebrate with them. And I promise you, it really happens. The last thing my boy didn't want to eat in this week was bananas. He never ate bananas, ever. He puked it out. It was horrible. He came into my office. He told me, Mommy, do you think I should take a bite of bananas? I'm like, I literally stopped working. I'm like, wait, what? and he said, yes, I think, as you said, my tongue is supposed to get used to this, right? I'm like, yes. Okay. And because we started adding banana in the smoothies. But he could taste at the beginning, and I started to lessen the bananas and then made it a little bit more, made it a little bit less, and until he was okay with the smoothies, the fruit smoothies. So he said, no, he's going to take a taste. And he came in with a banana and he took a whole bite. Straight face. I couldn't believe it. He ate that whole piece and said, oh, Mom, I know the taste. Oh, can you believe it? Mommy, I know this taste. And why do you know the taste? Because I've been doing this for so long. And he's now 10 years old. So this was the last hurdle. No, sorry, I'm lying. We have the last hurdle is avocado. But that was the second last hurdle. So it really helps to repeat God's food, whole foods for your family. It's worth it.
That is so beautiful. I love that story. Something comes to mind to me as well as you're telling that story is that not only are you making advances in the health journey of your child and your family, but you're building a family culture. You're having a positive family experience and a bonding time through taking these steps. So you guys are getting closer, and they're going to experience food when they're as adults in a positive mindset, because you've made it such a warm, team building, fun family experience that is just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
Yes, absolutely. And just on a note, why do we want to do it? I mean, that also comes up. Why don't we want processed food compared to whole foods? I mean, what is the big fuss? Why do I need to go whole? You know, processed is there for a reason. It's for convenience. But to see the change to see the change in kids' mood swings, to see the change in how the subjects that they choose, the stuff that they're interested in school, how they deal with stress, anxiety, and stuff that they have to do and face in my kids' life is amazing. And again, my clients' life. So it's so worth it to see that amazing change in their lives as well. It's something to experience, especially my kids. We have it whole, so I can't compare it to the unhealthy version of them anymore, but my clients see it, and that is incredible to celebrate the wins and how academically they become so much more equipped and so much more confident academically, socially, mentally. It's absolutely amazing to see.
Yeah. It really is just such a miracle to see how the foods that we were really created to eat interact with our bodies in such a proper, beautiful way and really enhance our life. And it can be a fun journey, just like you described. It can be so beautiful and so bonding. And wow, I hope everybody who has been listening just feels really encouraged and feels really excited to dive in. And so Aleshia, where can they find you? Because I know everybody's going to want to know more. You have just such a practical, fun way of explaining this to moms and make it really doable. So how can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on Facebook. I have a page there, Back to Basics Nutrition. I do a lot of lives there. And then I have a group for moms. It's Healthy Mom, Healthy Family. So that's the name, Healthy Mom, Healthy Family on Facebook. Our website is under construction, but there you can find us. And there's so much stuff you can do in there. And the Kiddies Nutrition is going to come soon. That's also online. I'm used to doing workshops that's practical, that's in person in my cities around me as well. But we can't do that now. So it's very interesting. We're doing all online. But I'll teach you about superheroes, and I teach you practical things that you can so easily teach the children, and to see in my workshops how the kid actually tells the mom, Mommy, I don't want that anymore. I feel like this when I'm eating it. Because they start connecting the bad feeling with the food. So your fight is not a fight anymore. You're literally bonding with your child, as you said, and you literally take this journey together to a healthier family. Awesome.
Kids are amazingly intuitive with how they can tell what's happening in their bodies. And I think they're just able to be more connected than we are as adults many times.
Yes.
And so that doesn't surprise me at all that you see that happen all the time with kids. And that's absolutely wonderful. So, well, everybody, please go find Aleshia at her Facebook page. You will absolutely love what you find there, and join her group. You will be inspired. You will have a great time, and you will implement things in your home that make you feel amazing, and you will bring your family through a wonderful journey. So thank you again for being here with us. We really appreciate your time and all the expertise that you shared.
Big pleasure. It was great to be here.
It was very fun. Thanks.
Pleasure.